and Steve Show on Lakeland's Lake Effect Radio. Scott and Steve. Scott and Steve.
Gotta love that intro.
That's a great intro. Jeremiah did a great job with that, so we want to welcome everyone back to the world famous Scott and Steve Show.
Good morning, week 2.
Week 2. Jeremiah, I was absent week 1, and I appreciate that. We're going to have an abbreviated show today.
Yes.
That darn work thing just keeps getting in the way of everybody, so we got to get to it.
It's a busy time of year still. I mean, we're still rolling out the initial red carpet, if you will, and getting settled into things.
Sure. Hopefully everyone's doing a great job in their classes, off to a great start. It's week 2, so hopefully you're all doing well and off to a good start. Jeremiah, how are you doing, man?
Going. That normal shenanigan in that.
Jeremiah,
the work thing getting in there, the school thing, the other work thing.
Sure.
You got a lot of hats you wear around the college, man.
That's it. No, I have to say, though, if you have not seen yet, you need to talk to Jeremiah about some of the items he's made over in the Hive. They are phenomenal.
Yes.
He's done a great job making stuff all year.
Can we do another giveaway today?
Yeah.
What do you think?
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, we'll figure something out as far as a listener.
Listener, of course, yeah.
A listener who's listening to the show, whether streaming or downstairs at the breakers or on their portable device, who knows? But last week, Haley won the contest of where you made the actual giveaways at here on campus.
Actually, she was sort of correct in both ways.
She was. It was a mixture of Hive and home. So she nonetheless got it right, but. Maybe we can make a weekly thing of a small giveaway, and
that'd be cool.
We'll go from there.
All right. So we'll have to think of a question about we want it to be at.
Well, I have a question.
All right, let's see.
I have a question. The college mascot.
Oh, college mascot. There we go.
Has been released.
Yes.
But
new logo.
We are in the middle of a naming contest, I think, if that's a way to put it. Contest?
Yes. They're looking at, I don't know if it's a contest per se. They're going to have a vote for it and figure it out. So however you want to term that. Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
When are students voting on that?
That's a great question. The marketing department, I know, is rolling that out there. They've had some meetings on it, so that's something they'll roll out at a little bit bigger scale. And I'm sure there'll be opportunities to vote both online and in person. There'll be places on campus to vote. I do know there was a list of probably 40 to 50 names or more that was put out there to consider. So they're trying to get that narrowed down to 3 to 5 names that were maybe the most popular at that time, and then they'll bring that to the student body and the college community as a whole, and look for a vote. My understanding is community members will also be allowed to vote, that kind of thing. So anyone who has an interest can certainly put forth their ideas once that comes out. But I would expect something coming out here in a near future.
Right.
Near is not defined, just near future.
Now, this is something that you've been working on for a while.
Well, thankfully,
it wasn't just dreamed up overnight.
No. This has been a topic that we've had for a few years now, honestly. And you may recall, probably 5-6 years ago, we actually had students draw up some ideas for some different things, and that didn't pass the mustard at the time. So we were able to. Again, marketing department, Tracy Shook, Don Plant, they did a great job in terms of soliciting an outside vendor to help come up with some drawings, that kind of thing. That's been passed through, so that's what you have been seeing on display right now.
Yeah, it's starting to be released, obviously, through the email communication. It's on some of the print material throughout college, so really exciting. I enjoy it. I think it's great.
Yeah,
I really do.
I like it a lot. I think it's a cool, exciting logo, and I'm hoping that it really takes off. We're trying to push it with some of our different T-shirts and stuff. We push it with with the crew stuff, our athletic teams as well. We're putting on some of our business cards and trying to release it out as we. Fill our position, the assistant ID position, as that gets filled. I anticipate more coming out, website releases and more stuff in the future. Who knows? Maybe if things shake out, maybe one day we'll have a mascot as well. I know we've talked about it. I mean, but it comes down to, dollars and cents and what makes the most sense for the college as a whole at that time. But really great job. Marketing department did a nice job, so shout out to them. Thank you for your efforts.
Very cool. Well, Lakeland sports obviously is in full effect right now.
Yep, we're off and kicking. Our volleyball team started off this weekend. They were at an Owens tournament. Toledo played a bunch of teams out of Michigan, Indiana. They didn't come up with any victories. However, that's always a tough tournament for us. We struggle in that one every year. However, we were much more competitive this year. We had some games that we took a couple games, and a lot of the scores were pretty tight. So that's good. It's a step in the right direction.
Right.
We are home tonight against Owens Community College. Owens is a perennial national contender. So, but we do host them tonight at 6 p.m. It's free. So, hopefully everyone will come out to do that. This weekend, we have our volleyball Shannon McBride Memorial Tournaments on Friday and Saturday.
Right.
Friday it starts at 2. Saturday it starts at 9 a.m. And then our soccer tournament, this is when our men's soccer team will be kicking off their season. They have not yet to play a league game, correct? They will be doing that Saturday. We have a match at 12-2, and then Sunday at 11-1. Our women's soccer team got off to their first victory of the year, first game and victory of the year last week. They beat up on Mercyhurst, beat them 8-2, which was
phenomenal.
Which was nice. Yeah, we actually traveled back to Mercyhurst today for another non-league match, and then Saturday we traveled to Kellogg Community College up in Battle Creek for our first league game of the year.
They're away actually, I think, till the end of the September. The women's soccer, if I'm not mistaken.
I'd have to look. Yeah, I'd have to look on the schedule exactly.
But
we're home more.
Trip.
Yeah, I think you're right. That we're away a lot early for sure.
Right.
And then
till the 18th.
Right.
And then that's when we play our league games this year. There has been a change. Our league games this year we played at Lost Nation Sports Park.
Okay.
But our non-league games like this weekend we played out in Laker Field. So
maybe for listeners to understand, why do you go to Lost Nation Sports Park? Weather?
Well, it's our first time doing it this year. We feel that it might provide both teams, men and women's team, a little bit better facility from that aspect. And certainly our field, playing a couple games on it with practice, stuff like that, by the end of the season, it's
ripped up.
Pretty tough shape.
Yeah.
So by playing out there, it'll give us a quality field for our league games, which are the ones that'll determine, if we get a chance to move on to the playoffs. So we're trying to give everyone our best best opportunity for success, and give them a quality experience as well.
That's outdoor.
Yeah, outdoor.
Lost Nation.
Lost Nation.
I figured it was, but
Lost Nation has. I think they have like 4 or 5 soccer fields.
Oh wow,
full field.
It's grown
fields.
since last time I've been there.
Yeah, and they're pretty nice. They do a nice job taking care of it, and so we're having the opportunity to go out there and play. But again, in the month of October, we're home a lot, and so most of those games will be at Lost Nation at that time. So hopefully we can encourage some of our spectators to come out and check them out, because I think they'll be really impressed with both teams this year. They're off to a good start. Our men's team, though we haven't played any games, we tied the Columbus Crew, which is a pretty it's a pretty impressive tie.
Where'd they play?
Game they played here at Lakeland.
Did they?
Yeah. So and we also played a couple of U19 teams, which are in the state are perennial, ranked in the top 2 or 3 in the state and compete nationally.
Wow.
So we've tied them as well. So we've played some for their scrimmages. Okay?
Sure.
Take that for what it's worth. But we've played some really high quality competition, and our team is showed well from that aspect. So I'm optimistic that they got to stay healthy, and keep working together. If they do that, then I'm optimistic we'll have a good season. And same with our women's team. Second year for the women's team, they're off to the run.
And I know you had mentioned there's just scrimmages so far. Men haven't played. How's new coach settling in?
Very good. Amir Katani is our new soccer coach. So he's done a really great job. He's brought in people from all over the world. I mean, literally all over the world.
Right.
We're talking South Korea, Australia, Germany, Denmark, all over the world. We've got kids from all over, and and they're blending with his people from here. We also have some people from Cleveland. We have a couple from Columbus, that kind of thing. So it's just a really high level, but he's done a great job bringing people in.
So he has an extensive network, obviously, if he's reaching out.
For sure. He was the Cleveland State College assistant soccer coach for several years.
Okay.
So, and part of his job there was recruiting, and so internationally. So he's been all over the world for Cleveland State.
Established.
So he's got connections, that kind of thing. And he has, for my first year coming in, he's done a great job bringing people in from all over. I expect this to be, again, very competitive right off the get-go.
Hang on,
and we're looking forward to that.
Can you knock on that window? Hurry up. Hey. I don't know if you can hear me, man, but go blue. Go blue.
There you go. Here we go. And it started off already. Actually, they won this past weekend. They did win, as did Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
So the guys were off.
Well, Ohio State had to. Otherwise, Kiffin, you'd never hear the end of it.
But, so interesting, though, in the top 25, was there like four or five Big Ten teams ranked, which I think is a lot of teams. But, they're off to a good start. But anyway, so, our soccer teams are doing. Coach Catani, he's done a really nice job. Steve Civic, our women's soccer coach, his second year.
Right.
Team is, come out and watch them play. They're much stronger than last year, more depth.
Sure.
So, he's done a nice job. And, I'm excited for both programs, and I'm hopeful that they both could qualify for postseason play.
Cool.
So
Very good. Very good. Volleyball, obviously, you mentioned they're playing tonight.
They play tonight. Yep. So we'll see. They first league game tonight. The ones before obviously were non-leaguers. This again is they're playing a perennial national contender. So it'll be a tall order for them. But hopefully they come out and play well, play hard, and if they do that, then we'll see what happens. So it'll be good.
I noticed there's open gyms starting up now.
Yeah, open gym.
Basketball is starting to get movement and traction.
Well, our teams have been practicing for a little bit now, right. And that still continues on. But as far as open gym for anyone, that's starting up again as well. Now that we're back in session, it allows us to get a better feel for what's going on in terms of scheduling and that kind of thing. We have reduced hours down in the AFC now.
Right.
We're closing at 8 o'clock and 6 o'clock on Fridays. So that. It has some of our teams, of course, practicing after hours,
right.
Just so that they can get it in, which then, of course, opens up some times during the day for our students who want to get down there, get a workout.
Hidden benefit, I guess.
There's pros and cons.
Bittersweet.
There's pros and cons with it, but it's an opportunity for us to to provide some more opportunity for the students and. For our coaches, it gives them a little shutdown time where there's absolutely nobody else in the facility.
They can focus.
So hopefully they're a little bit more focused and go from there. But
very cool.
Yeah, so we're rolling along.
I mean, obviously the success that the men's basketball team had last year with nationals. How's the team look? Returning players? Or?
We do have some returning players. We got 3 or 4 returning players. Some of our players that we anticipated returning actually received some pretty good scholarship offers elsewhere, so they moved on.
Understandable.
And that happens. That's part of the business at the community college level. Is there's a lot of turnover from that perspective. Right now, from what I've seen, not real big. Mm-hmm. However, we seem to be pretty athletic, and it's the same as everything. I think it'll be competitive. You got to stay healthy. You got to stay eligible. You do those 2 things, and a lot of good things can happen. Our women's team, a lot don't know, they lost in a district finals last year, so they were 1 game away from making it to nationals as well. And they also are going to be pretty
formidable.
Pretty formidable this year. I'm optimistic with both those programs. We've got some girls coming in. We've got some size with our girls, and so it'll be real interesting to see how we do. But again,
sounds like fall sports is going to be kind of dominating.
Well,
at least right now,
it's early. You gotta play them. That's why they play them,
sure.
As they say. But certainly optimistic on all of our sport teams. Very optimistic. Our numbers are up from that perspective. Our rosters are good sized.
Right.
Volleyball is carrying 11, which is the highest they've carried in a few years. Women's basketball is up to 11 or 12, which is higher than they've had the last couple of years. Men's basketball, they've always, in the fall, they always have 30 guys coming out because everyone's trying to make that.
Team.
Yep. So we'll see how that goes. Baseball is off to a good start. They've got 40 kids trying out this fall right now. Are still with the program this fall. So
what's your depth though? Like basketball, how many can you carry?
Basketball, in the fall, we try to carry 12 to 15.
Okay.
It just depends. We don't want to carry deadwood or people who, if they're not playing a lot, won't be positive.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But if we have someone who can understand their role, and we're talking usually the kids who are not getting a lot of playing time. They can understand their role, and they are doing a good job in a classroom, and they're positive on the court, they're positive on the bench. They get a few minutes here and there.
Yeah.
If they can be real good, then we don't have a problem with that. But
cool.
If it just at some point though, you got to have a roster and travel and go from there.
Tough decisions.
So that's how it is. So everyone's off to a good start from that aspect. And softball as well. Softball's carrying 16, 17 right now.
Right.
They'll usually whittle down to 12 to 15 for the spring, and we'll go from there. So
cool.
everything. everyone's off to a decent start, know. But hey, we're only in week 2 of classes, so let's get it go. But stay healthy. Staying healthy is the key. So hopefully we can do that.
Speaking of tough decisions, obviously NFL is right on the horizon here in a couple more days.
Yep.
Browns had to make some cuts.
Browns made some cuts. Who'd they cut?
They cut one Braxton Miller.
Everybody
was so pumped too, like, oh my God, Braxton Miller! And I know it's the Ohio State.
It's a feel-good story.
It's the Ohio State in them.
Yeah,
and he's coming back to home, if you will.
Yep.
So,
well, he's originally from home.
Well, I get that, but at the same time,
when he was signed by
NFL and college, two different schools of play.
Though I must say that when they signed him, I mean, as you all know, I'm not an Ohio State fan. However, when they signed him, I was hopeful that he would at least make the team and maybe have an impact at some point. I didn't know why they signed him though, because their receiving core has got some depth. But I'm like,
yeah, I don't know either. I know they said that he had a couple different offers on the table, if you will, and he wanted to come home, which is admirable. But at the same time,
I don't buy it. I think it was more of an opportunity to hopefully get seen in a preseason game, and then hopefully someone else will pick him up. That's what I really think.
I don't know if he can bring more to this team.
No, well, that's why he's released, right? That's why he's gone. I mean, obviously they're not.
You can say, he's versatile. He could be a backup QB. We have those. He could be depth to the wide receiver core. There's plenty there. There's really nothing more that he's going to bring to the team.
Right.
So
I would agree. I would agree. Browns are going to be interesting this year. I know I am not on the bandwagon. They're going to win a Super Bowl. I know some people are already talking Super Bowl.
Better win the wild card. Yeah. With all these hype videos going around, they better at least win the wild card.
They better get the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, I think they got a legitimate chance to win the division. I do believe that.
Oh, I think it's very legitimate.
Yeah. So
Cincinnati, they're not going to do anything.
I would agree.
I really think, honestly, Pittsburgh's going to fizzle. I really
to me,
do.
Pittsburgh's a wild card. They're the wild card. And that I could totally see them doing that, but every year we think that they're going to take a step backwards, they somehow pull it together.
I genuinely think that the Ravens are that sleeper team.
Ravens. I agree with that. They're going to be tough as well. I mean, it's the same.
They're going to be more up there than Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh, the offensive line issues, losing Bell, Brown.
Those are big.
Yeah.
They never got Bell last year.
Right.
Just because of the holdout.
They still had a good year.
They did, but just imagine what it would have been if they would have signed him.
Right.
Some of these teams need to swallow the pride, in my opinion. You either want the W's, you have to spend money. So, I don't know.
Well, the hard cap has an effect on some of that.
It
for
does.
Sure. But that's what restructuring contracts are for, et cetera, et cetera. In fact, that's what just happened with the Cowboys, right? They had a player restructure his contract, create some more cap space, and so Ezekiel Elliott signed, and now they're saying they're going after Dak Prescott here to see if they can get that done. So we'll see. I mean,
it actually all boils down to, listen, we know you want money, right? But how bad do you want the ring?
Well, that's it, because you can only pay certain players so much. There's only so much money to go around.
Right.
I mean, there's a cap.
Sure.
It is what it is. So I mean, if someone wants to make $1 gazillion, great, but then understand you have no one around you.
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
you can't do it alone.
It doesn't happen in 1 year.
I mean, the only one who could do it alone is Tom Brady. So let's be real.
I wouldn't go there. But to Tom Brady's credit, he's taken a reduced contract for
Still
years.
Making good money at
making
plus
more
40 years old.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's making great money. I mean, I wouldn't certainly say no to that kind of money. Making great money, but not making what he could have made over the length of his contract.
But you think the endorsements and all the other stuff, that
for
sort of
sure.
equates to his loss,
But everyone else has that same opportunity.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it comes down to, in my eyes,
we're talking about getting paid for his level of play.
Right. He definitely has not been paid on par for the last several years, because he's come out and said, "Hey,
selfless.
We need more players."
Right.
I mean, look at the way the Patriots operate.
He wants to retire out from the organization.
Right.
Dynasty through and through. Total franchise player, where in today's day and age of sports, it's unheard of.
Right.
I mean, there's no such thing as a franchise player anymore.
Right.
I think him and Big Ben are the only two real franchise quarterbacks, if you will.
Right.
So
you're not buying into Russell Wilson yet?
Dude, no. I mean, Wilson.
After Dak Prescott signs a 6-year contract, he's going to be the franchise.
Russell
Cowboy.
Wilson is very Colin Kaepernick-ish. Came out really strong first couple years.
There.
Win the Super Bowl.
Yep. It's been
Done.
Yeah.
Done. I don't see Russell Wilson doing much.
Though the other thing I would say that they won a Super Bowl with a dominating defense.
Well, exactly.
You know,
but it wasn't, I mean, a lot of that, a lot of people are like, oh, Russell Wilson, great quarterback.
I would agree there. I would agree. But he's been there a long time. So does that make him a franchise?
Dude, so
Not
is Andy
precisely.
Dalton. No, I wouldn't say. I would say just stagnant, man.
Okay.
I mean, Dalton's got to go. And I've been saying that for the past 2 to 3 years, and I don't know what they're waiting for because they signed him to that huge contract two years ago.
Yeah, 2 years,
2 years ago for 6 years.
Yeah.
And it was just like, no.
Yeah, I don't know how his contract's
You
written.
never know. He might be gone after this year.
Well, kudos to him because he's making out like a bandit then.
Well, is his money guaranteed? That the guaranteed contract is
Probably
kind
don't
of
know.
some point.
but that's come around more recently in the last year or two.
Right.
The guaranteed contract. So when he signed, I don't know that
What the
aspect
stipulations
of it.
were.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that would be an interesting thing because if he's guaranteed, if I'm Cincinnati, I'm saying, well, if you're guaranteed money,
Yeah.
you're on a team because
Right.
I'm paying you regardless. You know what I mean? Unless you're hurt.
Well, at some point in time, you got to cut your losses. If he's not performing,
Well, I do have to say, quite honestly, I know Jeremiah's still a little salty at me. I'm gonna pick the scab. I haven't worn the jersey yet, but I do owe both of you. I still owe you that the 5 or more wins from last year. We've never been able to get together.
Yeah, I forgot
When
all
things
about
settle down with you
Yeah,
and you're able
yeah.
to enjoy an evening,
Yeah.
maybe I'll take both of you guys out to B-dubs and maybe settle the bets. And I don't want to do this
well,
jersey.
not including
this,
Bossman's
this,
back.
no,
too.
Bossman, no, because I'm making up for the jersey aspect.
Oh, okay.
Bossman, I don't know if he's even listening. Probably not, but you're now shunned from getting in on any kind of bet. So, but long story short, I do want to make those solid, make them right.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, we'll
but,
definitely do it.
And no more
I'm a little
jersey
ways
thing.
away.
That doesn't bode well, especially when I work in the basement and there's really no shock value.
Well,
to
we'll have to
anybody.
come up with something.
There's just
new.
no shock value. I mean, I'm in Ohio. To wear an Ohio State jersey, people are like, "Hey, right on."
So actually, Dalton,
Yeah.
it's not much left of his contract
What, 3 years?
because he's free agent or he's in the free agency in 2021. So
2 years.
So is
Yeah.
his money guaranteed right now is the question.
do they have that?
That's all right.
What is? Oh, they're guaranteed. So they would 17 next year.
17 million?
17 million?
Yeah.
Well, if it's guaranteed, he's on the
It's still
team.
good money.
Yeah, it's good, especially in today's day. I mean, with that cap,
And
17 million is quite a bit of money.
Listen, can he
But
play?
it's probably some kind of, whatever in the contract that opt out at whatever time. That
no
no,
idea.
there's no opt out for him at any time. If anything, it would be the team. But
Right.
I don't know. Can he play in the NFL? Sure.
Somewhere.
But I think he's honestly a backup quarterback.
Right.
We've seen time after time he cannot play on a national spotlight, whether
Right.
it's Thursday night, Sunday night, playoffs is his curse. That's his kryptonite. So I think it's time for the Cincinnati organization to kind of, hey, you got some,
They gotta draft somebody.
You got some pretty solid wide receivers. We're just wasting here.
Yeah, we got to draft somebody and go from there.
So, all right, college foosball.
Yep. Virginia Tech took it on the nose to Boston College. They didn't play well. It was outstanding. A lot of turnovers, interceptions. That was terrible.
It's actually a tough matchup for week one.
It was in Boston, but still.
I mean, Boston College ain't no joke.
No, but just fumbles, 2 fumbles first
Right.
half that are inside your 30-yard line, and
Yeah.
giving up touchdowns. You end up losing by 7. That's a toughie. But it is what it is.
Right.
They got. I think they got ODU this weekend. Old Dominion or something at home
Right.
as a home opener, but. It is what it is. Michigan won, but
They did.
And who they got this coming weekend?
This week they got Army.
Army.
Yeah.
That's not an easy match
No,
either.
it's not easy. And then in week 3 we hop right into Wisconsin.
Okay,
So,
Wisconsin had a good win. They're
you know.
ranked top 20, so we'll see what happens with that. That'll be a good matchup.
I don't agree with. Did you see the AP
I saw
before the
briefly.
season started?
Yeah, I saw
don't
briefly.
understand it.
They've got, in my opinion, there's a group of teams that they want to give the opportunity to make the Final Four at the end, and this is their best way they can do it. Because if some of those teams knock each other off, they can still keep them up there and give them
I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not an Ohio State fan.
Right.
The listeners will come to know that, but there's no way.
I would agree.
Not off the schedule.
I would agree.
Not off this year's schedule.
Well, that's the reason to put him in there, because you see if they don't have all those wins against a bunch of nobodies, that's how they keep him up. So now if they lose to Michigan, well, they lost to a top 10 team.
We got to keep him up there.
So we got to keep him up there. That's how they keep him in there, man. I firmly believe that as a thing as out there. But
they're going to have to get shellacked.
I think Clemson's at Texas A&M this week, right? Yeah. Or no, A&M's at Clemson. And A&M has been out, and a couple of their players come out and said, we're going to upset. Now, Clemson wasn't sharp week 1, but they need to be. But we'll see. That'll be an interesting matchup from that aspect. But I think it's interesting how this the new rule has impacted some teams. I mean, look at Oklahoma picking up the quarterback. Who's the quarterback they picked up?
Where did it come from?
Remember.
Yeah. He lit it up. He threw like 5 touchdowns this week. He picked up off of Alabama.
Here, loading it right this second.
There you go. Drawing blank on names.
Let's see. Try to find their roster. Oh, Hurts.
Yeah. Jalen, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Jalen
Yep.
Hurts. Who was awesome for 1 year and then got put out by Alabama, but he came in and played well selflessly towards the end of last year. I mean, allowing him to transfer there, I mean, it pretty much may have saved his opportunity to ever get drafted, honestly.
Yeah.
Because he was going to ride
the Heisman contention.
That's just it. He was going to ride the pine in Alabama, and now he was week 1 obviously, but he was a stud there. If that continues, they have the ability, as you said.
But
Heisman,
why not, though?
Well, that's just it.
If he's just going to be benched, why limit the potential?
Right. But I think that'll save his career and give him the opportunity to get drafted, which, frankly, may not have happened. Or if it was going to happen, it'd be at a very, very low round, whereas now he could put himself in a first or second round, Who knows? Maybe Cincinnati will pick him up next year. He goes there. You never know, man. You never know. But it's been a real interesting to see how that's played out with the Dominoes.
Right.
It's forcing a lot of freshmen to play more who may not have played in the past.
Right.
So that way they stay happy. Don't say, "Oh, I'm out of here," because now they can transfer so easily.
Yeah.
So it's just real interesting. As we move forward, I'll be curious to see how this shakes out in the end. But it's a good time.
Well, Jeremiah, you want to do a giveaway?
Yeah.
Let's do a giveaway. You come up with the topic, though. I've been trying to think of something we've talked about in our segment here, but maybe campus related, a little Lakeland trivia related.
It would be sort of easy. Yeah.
We got some new students.
We got something going on downstairs in the atrium right now. What is that?
What is going on?
I'm not sure.
It's the bake sale. Is it the
I figure it was
Surge Tech or something? Nursing?
Surge Tech?
One of those? I don't know. I want to say the wrong thing there, but
I didn't see.
Either way, if you have a sweet tooth, there's a bake sale going on down in the atrium.
That's right. Get out and check that out.
Come on down and support some organizations.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about the first one that can tell us when any of our teams play? Pick the sport. Volleyball plays
Starting
today. Volleyball plays tonight. Soccer plays Saturday, Sunday. Volleyball.
You just gave it away.
But they got to come up here. They got to come up and actually say it and remember it from here to then.
Okay.
This could be tough. And which sport? They got to get the right sport too.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, what team is playing?
Or they could tell us the cost to get in. How about that?
Okay. How much does it cost to get into a Lakeland Athletics event?
There you go.
Sporting event.
And we did mention that earlier. So
and we mentioned it last week too.
Okay.
We mentioned it last week.
Very good.
So, but if you're listening down at Breakers, we're located on the second floor of S Building.
Yep.
You can call in. Jeremiah will give you the phone number. You can chat in if you're live streaming, or you can even pop up to the second floor of S Building right now, where we're broadcasting in the booth. But if you know how much it costs to get into a Lakeland
got a nice prize for you.
A little freebie giveaway for you.
There you go.
So
it's a lot of.
We'll give you 2-3 minutes. This shouldn't take that long. Shouldn't take that long to get somebody.
And also, I tell you what, let's throw in admission
2 free tickets.
Admission to all the events for next week.
Okay.
At no cost to them. At no cost.
I like it.
Yeah, there is a good chunk of stuff happening next week.
There is. Now we have. It might be a little premature, but we do have the race coming up here pretty soon, right? We want
the
to
clock
talk
tower
about that?
run.
Yeah,
the 15th.
Because you got to sign up here. How long can you sign up? Do you know?
You can sign up right now. sign up
I forgot
online.
when because you could do registration that day.
Right.
Too.
It's a little bit more expensive, right? But you can
Yeah.
do it that day.
So-
It's Sunday the 15th, if I remember correctly.
Sunday the 15th.
Yep, and-
So next week they're actually having raffles throughout the week.
Awesome.
Down here in us building. On the 11th, Connect Fest will actually have the raffle tickets, the raffle table up in the library for Connect Fest. So,
I didn't know that.
So if you're interested in purchasing any tickets for really awesome gift baskets to help promote the Clock Tower Run and scholarships, definitely keep that in mind for next week. There'll be I'll actually be manning one of the tables here next week as well down in the atrium. So stop by. That's what we're selling tickets for.
And so that nobody gets too concerned, you can walk it as well. You do not have to run.
Exactly.
You do have the ability to walk it. In fact, last year, some people bring their animals, the dogs with them, pet friendly. Yeah. So it's a really nice activity. I would encourage everyone to come out and do it.
I want to say the first 150 registrants get
T-shirts. Yep.
And an acrylic keepsake.
Yep. Really nice T-shirts.
That were also made at Hive.
Nice.
I ran across him when he was doing
Yeah, they're doing a really good job.
Yeah, so definitely that's something to look at.
That's coming up on the 15th, but I do want to plug something that the police department, we're hosting here on September 10th. It's a Tuesday. From 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., we are actually hosting a child safety seat inspection.
Okay.
So we'll be in the west parking lot, which is the parking lot by 306 behind Speedway.
Yep.
So if you or you know anybody who has children who are of age to be placed in a child safety seat, booster seat, etc., and you want to make sure that things are okay and it's being hooked up okay, definitely slide by between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. We have child safety seat inspectors who are certified technicians to assist you with that. They'll give you some tips. They'll give you some information on child safety seats, expirations. But it also goes towards their credentials, too. They have to maintain so many training and inspections to keep their certifications. So we're pairing up with Rainbow Baby Children Hospital and UH Hospitals as part of the Greater Cleveland Safe Kids Coalition to have this event. So we're going to have inspectors here from all over. Actually, I had got a phone call from somebody in the 419 area code, which I do believe is a Sandusky, Toledo area. They'll be coming in to participate in that as well. So
very good.
We're definitely looking for people to come and, for lack of a better term, keep them busy and let them get their hands on and help you out with child safety seats.
I tell you that's an interesting topic. Is as a parent who used to have children in those things, is you don't really. I didn't really think a lot about it. You get your seat, okay, you get your toe in the back. You don't really think about it again. At least I never did.
Right.
However, one time when my oldest daughter, I was not there. My wife was driving, so I think it's really my wife's fault or responsibility that this happened. But somehow the seatbelt got tied up and literally tightened up, and they couldn't get it off. You know what I mean?
It locked in.
It locked in, and then it actually went up on her, rolled up on her, and so then. They got her out of the seat, but the seatbelt kept getting tighter somehow. I don't know how it happened. But anyway, they wound up having to cut the darn seatbelt to get her out. So I don't know what happened, but my daughter still remembers it. I don't remember it.
Vividly.
Since I wasn't there, so it was all good.
Well, it's important to know proper setup. Cars are changing in their engineering, the anchoring systems. Child safety seats are evolving. Child safety seats actually expire because I know a lot of families hand down, or a lot of people will buy certain things at garage sales. But in actuality, that plastic actually breaks down and compromises the structural integrity of a child safety seat. So it might not always be wise to accept a hand-me-down or go to get it at a garage sale or a family friend because at times we might not know it, but that plastic's breaking down or technology changes.
No, it makes sense.
Right. So
especially 90-degree day plastic.
Exactly. They sit in cars, but in the time of an accident is not the time to find that out. The forces that get pulled not only on an adult body are extreme. Just compound that to that of an infant, juvenile, etc. So definitely September 10th, 2 to 6 p.m. And this is open to the public. This is not just a Lakeland thing. And people will come to find out.
It's coincidentally happening here.
Well, we're hosting it, so Lakeland is is a center of the county, so it's a great reference point. So. But at the same time, I think what the student body needs to know too is a lot of events on campus aren't merely just for the college specific community. It's open to the public as well, and this is one of those events we're trying to get out there.
Speaking of that, I'm going to give a teaser, but I'm not going to release it. There's a very, very good chance that, and we're going to hopefully have this nailed down within the next week, that Lakeland will be hosting a community-wide event that everyone will want to be at. I can tell you that. It's an exciting event, and it's in December. It'll be on December 7th. It's an interesting day, but they'll be hosting it down in the main gym, but I can't tell you what it is as of yet. It has not been finalized, but we're right about
You
there.
and your teasers.
That's a teaser, so hopefully you all are listening. I hope to be able to release next week what we have happening, but it's coming. We're working on it, so hopefully next week we'll be good to go with that.
Cool.
So
Cool.
Fair enough.
All right.
Very cool.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I
I've
know
got to hit the high
Keeler's
road
going to
here.
be up here too, talking about the seatbelt thing too.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good.
Tuesday.
Is he coming back again?
Tuesday.
Okay, good. Because he came up before the semester started with Tim, and so good. He'll be up here plugging it before the actual event. Very good. Very good.
All right, we're going to cut this one short here today,
Sounds
right?
good.
This is going to be our head out song. We want to thank everyone for listening. No one came up though with
No
our
one came up for the prize.
for the
Maybe
right
next
prize.
week.
So yeah, just see what happens next week.
Well,
and go
things
from
are
there.
going to get a lot more busier. That people will be running
sure.
about.
Well, they'll definitely see us out and about walking around during the involvement fairs and so on
Yep.
and so forth,
For
which
sure.
are on the horizon as well.
Yep.
2 weeks.
All right, everyone have a great week and go
Go
Lakers.
Lakers.